What's up, everybody? It's your boy Hurt coming to you with another fun-filled video for you today, where we talk about anything and everything that we feel like talking about today. Today's no different. We're gonna reach in that bag of goodies, subjects, and material, pull one out, dive right in, and discuss it. So today, I was reminded because I seen some Swishers or some Phillies or whatever, some blunt wraps or whatever, and I was like, you know what? I remember in prison people making these blunt wraps and selling them and rolling up K2 or weed or whatever, or tobacco, or dried up banana peels or dried up orange peels, snorting coffee, but that's besides the point. We're going to get into making jailhouse Swisher Sweets. So, or jailhouse blunt wraps, or jailhouse fucking backwoods. So, what I've seen done is they'll take a brown paper bag, whatever, crumple it up a bunch of times so it starts getting soft or whatever, and then once it starts getting the consistency of like being softer or like a zigzag, excuse me, I had my coffee, starting to get the hiccups, but so once it starts getting the consistency of a paper slash blunt wrap or whatever, then they'll smooth that shit out. They'll get it on a table and just smooth it out. You know how back in the day in school, how you would fucking smooth out a crinkled piece of paper on your desk or whatever? Same shit. We get a desk in prison. Um, Depends on where you're at. If I was in a cube, 8 people setting, and then we got 2 desks in that 8 people setting, one on each side. And then in the cell setting, everybody gets a desk in the cell setting. Unless you got a fucked up cell and someone took the desk and whatever, then you're fucked. But anyways, smooth that paper out, whatever. And then they would wet that thing. They would wet it like with water or whatever. And then this is what I've seen where the ingredients kind of switch it up. Some people, this is the only way I've seen it. They'll get coffee and kind of paste it up, make it into a paste or whatever, coffee paste, and then they'll take that paste and spread it throughout the paper to give that effect of like a blunt wrap or like a backwood or whatever. I don't know what the shit tastes like. I stayed away from that K2. Well, no, not so much. I think I did once or twice just to be like, okay, whatever. Hated both times. But, anyways, so they took this shit and rubbed the coffee paste on it, and then they would let it dry. And when it was done, it literally looked like a Swisher Sweet or a Backwood or a Philly or whatever. And then they would wait for it to dry. They would roll their weed up in it, K2 up in it, or tobacco up in it, whatever. Um, Crazy shit. Fucking crazy shit. I remember going into the bathrooms because in the cube settings, there was 4 stalls covered by the stall walls or whatever, and then there was 4 urinals with 4 showers that were closed in by concrete or the shower curtains, and then closed in by the stall walls. The pissing stalls were freaking open or whatever, but you'd have people in the bathroom smoking that, passing it around like they're in the hood chilling. And then you'd have people in the stalls or whatever, rolling it up, smoking it, whatever, making hooch, making drinks. Then you'd have the weird, creepy motherfuckers that would be going in the showers, closing the shower curtains, Lord knows. Yeah, they were probably smoking in there, but you're probably doing some other freaky shit in there, because if I was smoking, I would just either smoke in my cell or smoke in the bathroom or somewhere where the airflow's going. Me personally, I was always paranoid and always like, I never had smell goods or what's it called, like baby powder or whatever, the homemade air fresheners or whatever. I never had that, so I was always worried about if my shit was gonna stink or whatever. So the 2 times that I did do K2 or whatever, we would have to make makeshift lighters with the little metal wire coming from the battery or coming from a plug-in outlet or whatever. Um, and then we would light that up using the battery. It would light up the wire red hot, and then you would put your little piece of K2 in there, and then you take a straw and just straight crackhead shit, swear to God. And both times that I did, one time was actually all right. You know, I was just like, hell yes, chilling back, watching some movies, legit like I just smoked some weed or whatever. Not a problem. I stayed in my cell, didn't do nothing. Second time was not so much fun. Had my heart racing, couldn't enjoy anything, paranoid as hell. And I felt like I had to move, like I had to get out that cell, I had to get out that block, whatever. And I was like, man, I called my people, whatever, and I was just like, yeah, I'm feeling a little off today, whatever. Well, no shit, I'm feeling off today, whatever. So I went and just worked out and got it out, doing push-ups and doing sit-ups and just reading and waiting for it to pass, because, like, now I understand sometimes why some will get a bad trip or will they'll freak out or will they'll whatever. Just bad shit or just how your body reacts. And 9 times out of 10, it's not really K2. It's fucking rat poisoning, bee killer, fucking all that shit just sprayed on paper, and then they sell it for K2 in prison for like 15 to 20 bucks a hit. Whole sheet of paper, like crazy. That should be worth like $1,000 to $2,000 because you're only cutting like that little bit off of a piece of paper. Crazy shit. It's how I've seen blunts being made. That's what I've seen being done in prison. Whether it's making hooch, making blunt wraps, smoking K2, doing Suboxones, putting Suboxone strips in your eye. All that crazy shit happens. So I was at Parnell Correctional in Jackson, Michigan. So did my 2 years there and seeing a bunch of crazy shit just reminded me today. Thought I'd bring it to your attention and have some entertainment for you today. Hopefully you guys are watching it, and if you made it this far, comment, like for support or whatever, and hopefully make some more videos soon. Have a good day, everybody.